Hi, hello students, and welcome to our LMS course in Science 9. Of course, I am your teacher Nori here in learning video session. Okay, so for this session, you are about to learn another type of chemical bond, and that is very good. Covalent bond. Okay. Now, to start, make sure you have prepared your ball pen, your periodic table, and of course, your lecture notebook. Okay. Now, this time, okay, ang nakikita nyo dito sa ating sample na compound is what? Ayan. Dalawang klaseng colors yan. It's because, okay, yung black color is the carbon and the other color is the hydrogen. Carbon and hydrogen. Very good. And take note, those are what? Very good. Non-metals. Both are non-metals. So, in other words, this kind of compound is bonded between two non-metals. So, anong tawag dito? Okay, another one. So, what we have here is yung benzene ring natin, di ba? Okay, para mas klaro. So, yung benzene ring natin, if you're going to check, meron yang double bond at saka isang single bond. Actually, kaya pa yan maging triple bond. Pero, ibang structure na yan. It's not a benzene ring. Okay? So, ganyan pala ang covalent bond, ma'am. Meron yang line or meron yang pwede yang possible na two bonds, three bonds, and of course, the single bond. Okay? So, yan yung itatakal natin today. I do hope that you are very much ready and excited. Okay? So, let's have the presentation now. Okay. So, gagamit tayo ng chemical elements of hydrogen and chlorine, right? Okay. So, our objectives, of course, define covalent bonding. Number two, demonstrate the formation of an covalent bond using the common elements. And number three, relate the common properties of covalent bond. Okay. Of course, I'm so sure that you are able to prepare these materials. Okay. How about let's try this GIF analysis. Okay. So, ayan. Muna to ang GIF. Kanabi tong picture na maglihok-lihok siya. Video siya pero naka-GIF siya. Naka-save into GIF. Okay. So I'll give you 10 seconds just to observe that. Ready? Go. Okay. That's time is up. So, I do hope, klaro raman kayo, dali raman kayo na siya nyo na makita, no? Dali ran nyo na siya matanawan kung unsa na. Okay, so let's try to check here. Of course, we have guide questions. So number one, what are your common observations? So ano bang nakikita nyo dyan? Okay, so I'll give you 5 seconds. Ready? Go. Ayan, so time is up. Okay, how about number two? How will you describe its bonding? Nag-bond din na sila, ma'am. Yes, so for 5 seconds. Okay, time is up. So, ayan. Number three, what do you call this kind of bonding? 5 seconds. Go. Okay, that is time is up. Sige. So I do hope that you were able to jot down kasi importante yan para ma-hook kayo sa aking topic. Now, so actually hindi ko na kailangang sasagutin yan. Nasa inyo na yan. I-check na lang yan later if you were able to catch up yung topic natin. Okay, balik tayo sa why do atoms form chemical bonds? So, I was able to discuss it last our learning video session in ionic bond. So, diretso tayo kay number 3. Okay? By sharing valence electrons with other atoms. So, this time, sharing. So, walang giving, walang gaining. It's sharing. Walang nagsasakripisyo, but both of them benefit, no? Nag-share sila. Okay, again and again, it is a universal rule that everything in this world tends to become more stable. Okay, balikan natin yung octet rule that what? During the compound formation, the tendency of an atom to share or transfer valence electrons to another atom to complete an octet of valence electrons. So, in this, what do you call this? Periodic table, okay, saang part or sa anong group ang stable na elements? Very good. These are the noble gases. Okay, let's try to review this one. In hydrogen, you can observe the outermost electron of hydrogen composed of 1, right? In carbon, it has 6 electrons, but try to check the number of outermost electron shell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? While nitrogen, the seventh element of periodic table, kay meron siyang 7 electrons, but ang kaniyang outermost electron is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so meron siyang 5 outermost electron. And si oxygen, okay, the 8th electron or the 8th periodic table elements in the periodic table, meron siyang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outermost electron shell. What I am referring to outermost electron shell is it's their valence electrons. So, octet rule, atoms tend to gain, lose, or share electrons so as to have 8 electrons. Balik tayo kay carbon. Remember kanina yung valence electron ni carbon, 4. So, ilan ang kailangan niya para maging stable? Very good. 4 electrons. Nitrogen would like also to gain. Very good. Because meron na siyang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kailangan niya ng 3 electrons. And oxygen, since it has already 6 outermost electron shell, kailangan niya ng 2 electrons. So, why are electrons important? Elements have different electron configurations. They have different levels of bonding. Okay, munang importante kayo ang electrons. Okay, so we have here, let's try this. Answer the given questions. So please capture para mamaya sa pag-timer na amoy guide. Okay? Now, number 1, how many valence electrons does hydrogen have? Number 2, how many valence electrons does chlorine have? And number 3, how many electrons does each atom need to have a complete shell? Okay? So I'll give you 10 seconds for that. Ready? Go! Okay, that's time is up. So what we have here, so anong sagot ninyo dyan? Ayan, hydrogen have 1 valence electron. Chlorine also what? Does have chlorine. Pila ang valence electron ni chlorine? Isa? No, diba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many electrons does each atom need to have a complete shell? So, si hydrogen, isa, and then si chlorine, pila ang kailangan niya? Isa. Okay. Next. Now, draw this on your journal notebook. You have to move the hydrogen atom to its 2 circles that overlap. So, mamaya, kasi sharing ito, meron tayong natawag na overlapping. Okay? Overlap those on the left side of the chlorine atom to allow each atom to share 1 electron with the other. Okay? Since hydrogen isn't likely to give up an electron, it must share 1 with another atom. Have the students or have it move the hydrogen atom sa circle ni chlorine. So, mamaya, anong circle ang sinasabi mo, ma'am? Okay, like this, no? How many electrons does the hydrogen atom now have? So, nana siya circle, which is to overlap kay chlorine, and chlorine also overlap with hydrogen. And how many does the chlorine atom have? Okay, ready? In 5 seconds, go. Okay, time is up. So, let's go back here. Ayan. Anong nakikita nyo? Okay? So, hydrogen, dalawa. One of its own at saka isa yung shared. And chlorine, 8. Meaning to say, 8 na sa kanya, 7 yung yellow color. That means sa kanya original at saka isang shared. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, kompleto na si chlorine. Hydrogen, 1 and 2. Si hydrogen, pag 2 ang kanyang valence electron, stable na sa kanya yan. Exempted kasi si hydrogen. Okay? Next. So, what is now the chemical formula for this compound? If you're going to observe in the Lewis electron dot symbol, you have tried to check, no, the number of electrons na na-shared. Okay? How the electrons are shared. So, asang na-share dire karing duha? Pag duha ka dat, single bond lang na siya. So, later, ipakita lang ko sa inyo yung types of bonds ng covalent bond. Okay? Next. So, what is covalent bonding? Ayan, of course, meron na kayong hint. It happens between two non-metals. And of course, walang nangyayaring giving, walang nangyayaring gaining, but both of them, what? Are sharing. Okay? So, covalent bonding is actually a bond between non-metals. And these non-metals have high electronegativity, meaning to say they have a greater ability to attract electrons. And there are two types of covalent bonds, the polar covalent bond and the non-polar covalent bond. Okay. Now, bonding pair versus lone pair. Kasi pairing ito, 'di ba? Sharing. So merong involvement dito yung sharing of electrons. Yung na-shared na electrons, ito yung sinatawag nating bonding pair. Yung hindi na-shared na electrons, they are called the lone pair. Again, bonding pair are shared between two atoms and lone pair are those electron pair that is not shared. Okay? Next, electronegativity again is the measure of the tendency of an atom to attract electrons. So generally, metals have low electronegativity and non-metals have high electronegativity. Therefore, the non-metals are what? Okay, sila ang mas mukusog o attract o electrons. Okay? Now, electronegativity difference for types of covalent bond. So, difference, i-minus nimo kani bitaw na value nila, i-minus nimo na siya, and then, ang difference is, pag nag-result ng 0 to 0.5, the type of bond is non-polar. If 0.6 to 1.5, that is polar covalent bond. There are both covalent bond. Okay? Next, ito yung features nila. Pag non-polar covalent bond, ayan, kikita nyo hydrogen, di ba? While the polar covalent, here, pag ionic, nakikita nyo, almost separate. Ayan, okay? So, meron niyang difference level. Again, 0 to 0.5, non-polar, 0.6, 1.5. Okay, formation of covalent bonds. Okay, can you observe our GIF na mga nandito sa ating slides? Of course, hydrogen, chlorine, and oxygen. We have the single bond, the double bond. Okay? So, when two or more non-metallic elements combine in covalent bonding, molecule was formed. So, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and fluorine, like this, no, kani sila. Okay? They will occur as diatomic molecule. Hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, okay? And the rest follows. they are more stable than single atom. Okay? Next. Three types of covalent bonds actually nagadepende na sa number of shared electrons. So what we have here is the single bond, the double bond, and the triple bond. Okay, shared ha, yung shared. Ang sige tawag sa shared, those are the bonding pair. Okay, moving on. So we have here a single covalent bond if what? Sharing of one electron pair, isang pares lang. And then line, no? Short line. It was denoted by a short line. Okay. Pag double covalent bond, dalawang short lines. Of course, sharing of two electron pairs. So one electron pair, two electron pairs. While triple covalent bond, that is denoted by three short lines, sharing of three electron pairs. Okay? So I do hope klaro yan ha. We have the single covalent bond, and then we have the double covalent bond, and of course the triple covalent bond. Okay, easy lang, no? So, steps in the formation of covalent bond. Number one, of course, always identify the valence electron of the elements. For the hydrogen, family 1A, 1 valence electron. For chlorine, we have 7 valence electron. Number two, of course, you have to draw the Lewis electron, what they call that, dot symbol. Okay, munang importante mag-drawing dyan mo og Lewis dot symbol. And number three, show the sharing of the pair of electrons with either single, double, or triple. Analyze what type of bond it will have based on the number of shared electrons. Like what we did kanina, unsaon na mo pagkuan, ma'am? Pagpakita sa ilahang sharing of pairs of electrons. If the ionic, we will use the arrow, of course, kasi sharing man ni siya, no? So, mugamit yung tao ka ng circles. Okay? Overlapping of circles. Yan. So, draw a circle around the hydrogen atom and the two electrons it now has in its outer shell. Draw another circle around the chlorine atom to show the 8 electrons it now has in its outer shell. Try to check chlorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then isa ka-hydrogen, so naging 8. And then we have here ka-hydrogen 1 and 2. So both of them is what? They are both stable. Okay. Properties. So this time we are about to compare the properties between ionic and the covalent. Pag ionic, they are what formed between cation and anion. But kay covalent, wala na yung term na charges like ion and cation. They are already called two nonmetals. So covalent, hindi yan charges. Okay? Formed also with oppositely charged ions. So transferred yung electrons and they either gain or lose. While the covalent bond, they share electrons to become stable and the electronegativity difference between non-metallic elements should be equal or less than 1.7. Okay, kay ionic, they have no definite shape. But unlike kay covalent, they have a definite shape. Yung kanina, yung kay benzene ring, right? And of course, in terms of the melting point and boiling point, ionic, what? High, while the covalent, low. Okay. For the state of at room temperature, ionic, mostly of them are solid, while covalent, they are liquid or gas. In terms of electrical conductivity, ionic is just good or poor conductors, but the covalent, they do not, no? Or do not conduct electricity. Wala dyan na sila, di na sila makakonduct og electricity. Kaya dili man sila charged, no? Wala naka-charge, walang ion, walang anion, walang cation. Okay, now the importance. Covalent bonds are especially important since most carbon molecules interact primarily through covalent bonding. Covalent bonding allows molecules to share electrons with other molecules, creating a long chains of compounds and allowing more complexity in life, no? Like this, no? Kani siya, pwede pa din siya mutaas. Okay, yan yung importance ng covalent bond natin. Okay, so they're also known as the strongest bonds in nature. Okay, they can only be what? Broken with the help of enzymes. Okay, because of the even sharing of electrons between the bonded atoms, and as with anything equally shared, there is no conflict to weaken the arrangement. And covalent bonds are also seen, for example, in the case of penicillin. So, ginagamit po din ni sila, no? Sa covalent bonding, very important to form compounds to create drugs, no? Like example, the penicillin. Okay, essential to bacterial cell wall synthesis. Okay, so before we will end this, always remember that number one, atoms of all elements has to what? To become stable, have to have 8 valence electrons. That's according to their octet rule. And number two, in covalent bonding, of course, by sharing valence electrons with other atoms. And a bond between non-metals, okay? Non-metals have high electronegativity, therefore they have greater ability to attract electrons. There are two types of covalent bonds, the polar covalent bond and the non-polar covalent bond. Remember also that there are three types of covalent bonds depending on the number of shared electrons. We have single bond, double bond, and triple bond. Okay, so that's it. I do hope that you have learned so much in this short video presentation. Again, please do not forget to stay tuned and like and subscribe my YouTube channel for future learning in chemistry. Okay? Again, keep on learning. Do not stop here in my video session. Find time to read, magbasa, mag-study, ug maningkamot og tuon. This is your teacher Nori. God bless and see you for our metallic band. Goodbye.